Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Overleveled Podcast. Yeah. Oh man, everyone, welcome back. Welcome. DJ.
Yes.
How you been, man?
I've been good. How you been, Gavin?
Pretty good. Anything going on? Any games you're playing?
Still playing Shadow Hearts from the New World so the thing with that game is that I'm pretty much able to do the final area of the game. I'm very close to beating it, but the thing is, in order to get the good ending, I have to do a shit ton of grinding for one of the characters. Otherwise, naturally, you'll get the bad ending if you just play through the game. So I have to do so much fucking grinding for this one character just so I can finish the game and get the good ending.
How different is, I guess, the lead up to the ending? Is it like a whole new boss, or is it just the final cutscene is different?
The final cutscene is different, yeah.
Okay.
It's but I want the good ending. I want all the characters to be happy.
Oh, definitely, man. Yeah. So is it is it just good ending, bad ending, or is there neutral ending?
No. It's just good ending, bad ending.
Okay.
The normal ending is the bad ending.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Is this the you said this was the last of the Shadow
third
Heart
one,
games?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh, interesting. So I wonder if they'll eventually make a new one later on.
Maybe. It's been a long time, but
yeah. I mean, they're bringing back sequels,
That is true.
I know The World Ends With You isn't incredibly old, but they made a sequel to that.
You never know. Never know.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been playing?
So right now, I don't know if you've ever caught any of my Twitch streams, but I'm taking a break from playing Eastward for a little bit. And
you're playing Persona, right?
No, I'm playing Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Oh,
yeah, I'm playing. It's on the 3DS. 3DS exclusive. I hope they eventually, now that they're doing Shin Megami Tensei 5, which is releasing this month. I know it's releasing this month. I don't know if it's next week or this week or something.
Yeah.
But it's coming out really soon. And I think since Shin Megami Tensei 3 HD made some pretty good sales, and now they're releasing, Shin Megami Tensei 5, and they're doing the whole Persona 20th or 25th anniversary or whatever. I think it's the 20th anniversary. They're doing that whole thing. Or no. I guess it would be the 25th. Anyways. Yeah. Or am I wrong? Holy shit. Is it the 30th anniversary? I think it's the 30th.
No.
Hold on. Persona anniversary. Nope. That's abolishment? No.
What?
Do not abolish Persona.
Yeah, no, it's the 25th.
25th anniversary. Okay, cool. Yeah, anyways, needless to say, Persona and the Shin Megami Tensei series right now is gaining in popularity. That train is loading up pretty fast. So hopefully, we'll get a Nintendo Switch port of Shin Megami Tensei 4 and its sequel, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. Anyways, that's what I'm playing right now. It's really cool. It's interesting because whenever you go into a dungeon and you're doing dungeon crawling stuff, you're finding treasure chests and random encounters and stuff like that. That all takes place in a 3D environment where you can walk around and rotate the camera and stuff and get preemptive strikes by attacking enemies that come at you and stuff. That stuff is really cool. But whenever you're not in the dungeons and you're just exploring the town, it's a lot of just static images, and then you just decide go to the there's a list of places that you can go to in the town or the area or whatever, and you just click, I want to go there, I want to go to the 4th district or something, or I want to go outside the town. All of it is just one button click away, and it's a static image. And then whenever you're there'll be a couple of characters that you can talk to over there. So it's very old school in the fact that you pretty much learn about the world by just exploring the town that you're in and just talking to NPCs.
Yeah.
Very, very old school in that way. So it's been interesting. I'm right in the beginning of the story right now, and I know it's a beefy one. It's like something around 45, 50 hours long.
Yeah, that's a JRPG, all right.
Yeah. So I'm playing through that right now. It's been really cool. Actually, the very first time that I streamed it on Twitch, I got lucky, and I want to shout him out right now because he decided to join the Discord. Yes, Trainer Cujo. He just goes by Cujo in our Discord. Anyways, he, I guess I was streaming on Twitch, and then whenever his stream ended, he raided my Twitch, and he had like an audience of like 5 or 6 people or so.
Oh, okay.
And so I was just playing the game for about 30 minutes, and then I look over and I see the chat box, and people are just like chatting away, just talking, and I'm like, there's actual people watching me play.
What do I do? That's cool.
Yeah, so it was cool, and then he's been extremely helpful and encouraging, not only just in like shown me how like Shin Megami Tensei kind of works and kind of given me that rundown of here's what you can expect, here are some things that you should keep an eye on and like things that you should keep in mind. But he's also he was like, hey, I know it's kind of weird to ask, but like, will you make me a Twitch mod for you so that I can kind of help you, do Twitch? So I made him a mod, and he's been extremely helpful and just kind of showing me how it all works, because I'm just, I really don't know anything about Twitch.
Right, same, yeah.
It's like, sure, I get the basic concept. Like, you set up how you want your screen to look whenever you're going live, and then you click live, and then you're there. You're doing it.
Yeah.
But also, whenever you only have one monitor, you're kind of having to do things in a smaller space, and it might. Yeah, it gets a little confusing. Anyways, he's been doing it for a while, so shout out to you, Cujo, for just helping me out with Twitch and showing me the ropes of Shin Megami Tensei. He actually just finished, he just beat Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse live on stream either today or yesterday. Yeah, I think by the time this goes out, it'll be like 2 or 3 days ago or whatever. Yeah. But anyways,
tight.
That's what I'm playing right now.
I forgot. I did play. I'm not like super into it, but I did play a little bit of Mega Man Zero last week.
Nice.
And that's been fun. I did play like that game multiple times as a kid, just on and off, and gotta say that game's hard. It is a pretty hard game, but very enjoyable.
Yeah, I think those old school platformers that are like intense action platformers, and especially the Game Boy Advance era.
Oh yeah,
not easy. Are you playing the Game Boy Advance version, or did you get the HD collection?
I got the HD collection.
Okay.
I used to own the Game Boy, but yeah, I got the HD collection.
I have the HD collection. I initially bought the HD collection so that we could, do that after we finished the Mega Man X games or whatever Mega Man games we were doing on Videoverse, but maybe one day we'll get
Maybe one day. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't touched it yet. I have not played a single Zero game, but
they're fun. They're good. We recommend.
Fun. Yeah, right on, man. Well, cool. Those are some updates. Those are the games that we're playing right now. And before we get into anything else, news or anything like that, just real fast, me and DJ were discussing this earlier. I completely whiffed it last week, and totally forgot to do question of the week stuff.
Our signature. So, this is what we're known for.
Yeah, this is our thing. Nobody else does a question of the week.
So unique.
So, yeah. So, the question of the week that we asked 2 episodes ago was suggested by One Pin Tones.
Our boy.
Yeah, our boy. Thank you for asking this question, or submitting this question. One Pin Tones says, "What is an overhyped game that you could never get into?" Immediately we got Gigantor. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Gigantor in our Discord community. Thank you for answering. He says Mass Effect, Xenoblade Chronicles, Minecraft, Dragon Age in any battle royale game. Yeah, that's
an interesting variety.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you got your RPGs in there. You got your just like mindless fun games in there. Have you played any of the Mass Effect games yet?
I have not. No.
Yeah, neither have I. But now that like the collection is just totally out there, it's probably not going to be something I'm going to play soon. But you know, it's one of those game series where it's like you gotta play it eventually. You know, so
I agree with that.
Maybe we'll get there. Xenoblade Chronicles.
Interesting.
I've played like a little bit of the first one on the Wii. And then I hear very mixed reviews of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Nintendo Switch. And then I haven't played like Chronicles X or anything like that because I never had a Wii U.
Same.
But this is another one of those games though where it's like you have to at least play Xenoblade Chronicles 1.
Right,
you know?
But interesting.
Big RPGs like that, I totally understand how that can be daunting and off-putting to someone.
Yeah, I get it.
Minecraft? You a Minecraft guy, bro?
No.
No.
Not really. I mean, like, I used to be that type of person that just straight up hated Minecraft, but now it's just like, I mean, it's cool. There's nothing wrong with it. I get the appeal. Like, it's definitely one of those games like, you got to play it with people. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't like it by myself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some people can play those games, like, I don't know, a game like that or a game like Animal Crossing. Well, I don't know. Animal Crossing, you kind of have goals set up, you know? I'm just thinking more so those games where...
like sandbox, there's just like you pretty much just do stuff yourself, you know?
Yeah, it just completely relies on your own creativity.
Yeah.
Not that I think that that's bad in any way. In fact, I think that's an excellent idea, and I think
it's cool.
I think there should be more games like this. I think Minecraft itself, though, has never appealed to me personally. And any other kind of, you know, explore your creativity type games, I've always kind of been like, it's cool for a second just to kind of play around in, but I'd rather somebody make a world for me to just explore and run around.
Yeah, like there's just too much options, you know. There's so much that's kind of overwhelming. Yeah, it's like, what do I do?
Right. Yeah, and then you're like, well, I mean, I guess I could just build a house.
Yeah.
And you're like, I have no other ideas. That's all you build, a house.
Right.
I guess.
A house. There we go.
There you go. Dragon Age. Have you played any Dragon Age games?
I played a little bit, like a few hours of Dragon Age Inquisition, which I hear is one of the worst ones. That was okay. It was fine.
Yeah, I played Origins, like on my buddy's Xbox 360 a long time ago. This is just a series where it's like, if you're not already a gamer, like if you're not a gamer already, going into a game like this is the most scariest fucking thing ever, because it's nothing but just text. Huge text boxes just showing you how to play the game for a long time in the very beginning of these games. On top of the fact that I like that sort of medieval fantasy.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that stuff, but at the same time, it really does require a certain level of attention from a certain audience.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Yeah. So unless you've got nothing else going on for like an entire day, I think it takes at least a whole like 8 hours to finally understand how these games work.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
Not for me either. But yeah, battle royales too. I can completely understand how that's, you know, not for someone, especially if you're just someone like me where like I don't dislike online games, but that's not what I go out and purchase. Like I know Splatoon has a huge following, but like Splatoon 1, like the first Splatoon game, is purely online. And even if I had a Wii U at the time, that's not a game that I would have bought, just because I'm not going to play a game solely for the online aspect.
Yeah, I agree.
So completely understand that. Yeah, thank you, Gigantor, for that.
Yeah.
One Pin Tones, question asker. He said, Bloodborne and Dark Souls. I play games to relax and enjoy a good story, not to punish myself with few and far between achievements. Gave myself 2 hours, couldn't do it. Dude, I understand. I completely understand. Yeah, you're into the Soulsborne games, though, right?
I am into the Soulsborne games.
Yeah.
I mean, but I get I get the whole point of, wanting to play games to relax, not to, like, stress and stuff like that. I get it. Sure. I completely get it. But I love the Souls games.
Personally, I love those games as well. I have not finished any of them. But I've at least put like 40 hours into all of them,
Yeah.
Like I've played a hefty amount of it, but I have to stop myself from playing those games every now and then for my own sake.
Yeah, I get that.
And for the people around me and their sake. I just get frustrated. But the gameplay loop is addicting. It's just that evolution of kind of like what The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time kind of started. It's fun gameplay, but it requires a lot of skill, a lot of precision. I completely understand.
Honestly, though, with One Pine Tones, I definitely would have agreed with him back in like early high school, late middle school, I think, because that was around the first time I ever played a Dark Souls game. I played Dark Souls 2 for the first time, because this was like around when it first came out. And like I remember the Game Grumps on Steam Train, they were playing it. I was like, oh, I want to play that. I bought it, played it. I was so just upset. I just like didn't understand anything. I was like, why am I dying so much? Why can't I repair my equipment and all this other shit? I'm like, this game fucking sucks. That was the very first game I've ever like rage quit, was Dark Souls 2.
Damn, and you also started with the one that's pretty much universally disdained, at least compared to 1 and 3.
Yeah. But now I love them.
Dude. Yeah, they're good. They're good games. Did you ever beat Dark Souls 2?
Not Dark. I got far in Dark Souls 2, like way further afterwards. But the only ones I've ever beaten were Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. Those are ones I've only beaten by myself.
Okay. Yeah, those are excellent games.
I agree.
Cool. We got Hypernova coming in with Apex.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hate this. I hate anytime I ever see anything about Apex, I turn off my phone. I turn off everything. I'm like, I'm done seeing shit about Apex.
I'm done. Now this next one's pretty interesting.
Oh yes. So Tyler Rims. I know Tyler Rims from the Kingdom Hearts Discord, or the podcast, Ansem Report podcast. I started listening to that podcast. They're in the title, it's a Kingdom Hearts podcast. Yeah. So,
know what you're getting into.
I joined the Discord a little while ago. I've been active in there. They do a question of the week style thing as well, and I've been.
So you're saying we should sue them?
What's up?
So you're saying we should sue them?
Yeah, we should sue them because because their like 130 episode long podcast has copied our thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyways, I met him through there, and he's popped into my Twitch streams every now and then. He keeps my chat room warm every now and then, and I'm grateful that he decided to join our Discord.
Fuck yeah. Thank you,
so Tyler Rims. Tyler, buddy. Tyler says Final Fantasy VII specifically. Never played it back then, but playing it back when it released, whenever they released the original version on the PlayStation 4, I definitely felt let down after hearing it was the greatest thing since the invention of Reese's Puffs. Definitely a case of expectations being so high from hearing about it all my life.
That's fair. Yeah.
I would say, I think so I pretty much agree with everything that he said. I played Final Fantasy VII for the first time when it was re-released on PlayStation 4.
Same, yes.
Obviously, I mean, my first foray whatever, my first foray into the Final Fantasy series was through Kingdom Hearts back in 2008 or whatever. And of course, you meet in that game. You meet Sid, you meet Squall and Aerith and Yuffie. You meet all of those guys, or in Tidus and Waka or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You meet all them first, but the first time that you really feel like you've met a character who is like a part of the whole Kingdom Hearts story, and he's like edgy. It's Cloud in the Olympus Coliseum. And that was my first time. Even you read the data logs in there, and I initially was like, "Whoa, Final Fantasy VII! This guy is so cool." Come to realize later on that depiction of Cloud is so wrong compared to like how Cloud is in Final Fantasy VII. So basically, I watched Advent Children before I played Final Fantasy VII. I played Crisis Core before I played Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
So all of my expectations were, one, way too hyped from everybody online. And two, Square Enix has kind of, after the release of Final Fantasy VII, kind of started moving away from what the original spirit of that game was. Mm-hmm. So if you went in with the expectations of something like Advent Children whenever playing Final Fantasy VII, it's a completely different feel.
Definitely.
So I agree with you, Tyler. I like Final Fantasy VII. I think this is not a game for me that I personally would say I could never get into this game, because I enjoyed my whole time playing it.
Agreed.
But I will say it was way overhyped.
100%. I agree.
Yeah. It's not... Oh, and One Pin Tones, he says, I totally agree with Final Fantasy VII. He says material system, but I'm pretty sure he means material system. Good materia system, but nowhere near best RPG or game ever. And then he says Borderlands is another one. I played all three for about 20 hours total and couldn't get into it. Yeah. Well, okay. Going back to the Final Fantasy VII thing, I agree too with like materia system. I think that's really fun.
That's tight.
I think that's one of the best gameplay systems of most of the Final Fantasy games. But as a whole, way overhyped.
Definitely. Like for me personally, like I enjoyed, in terms of the gameplay, I enjoyed 7 Remake more than the original. Just because like I naturally prefer those action-oriented types of games. RPGs. I still love, turn-based, but yeah.
I felt at home with 7 Remake just because, I found out about Final Fantasy through Kingdom Hearts, and it plays just like Kingdom Hearts, essentially. Yeah. But anyways, I agree with you, DJ, on that one. And then, like One Pintone says in the last part of this comment, Borderlands being another one. I enjoyed my time with Borderlands 1, but I started Borderlands 2, and then like the next day I was getting married, and so I just haven't played it since. Right. I had other shit to do after my wedding day. So, but what about you? How do you? I know that you've played a little bit of Borderlands.
Because I know we all played it, just aren't like together a lot of times, and then afterwards, after y'all beat it, I eventually went back and beat Borderlands 1, and I enjoyed it. And I remember when I was younger, too, back in middle school, I had a friend who would always play Borderlands 2 and 1. We'd play again sometimes together. And like, yeah, I enjoy Borderlands, but I can understand why someone necessarily wouldn't like it. I get, not liking shooter games because I'm not really too big onto those types of games. But I like the Borderlands series. It's pretty good.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I from what I've heard, too, though, the Borderlands 3 is... I felt like that was another game, too. I know Brandon, he's big into Borderlands as well, and I know that. I'm pretty sure he hasn't even finished Borderlands 3.
He has not, Anytime Borderlands is mentioned, he always brings to the fact that he has not finished Borderlands 3.
I know. Dishonor, bro. Dishonor upon his whole family. Okay, so that was the question of the week. Thank you, everyone who answered the question of the week. We didn't get any recommendations for what we can ask for next week.
I have an idea. You don't necessarily need to do that for this one, but maybe like for the end of the year. But it could be this one. Is like, what was one of your favorite game or games that you played like within this year in general? Doesn't necessarily
we're coming up close. We're coming up close to the end of the year.
Doesn't necessarily have to be like with like games that were released this year, but like just any game that you played within this year for the first time that you're like, this is the best game.
That's good. Yeah, and then maybe closer to the end of the year we can do a of this year.
Yeah.
What was the best? Yeah, let's do it. So, any game that you have played this year, it does, like DJ said, it does not have to be released this year. You just had to have played it. Maybe you beat it, maybe you didn't beat it yet, or maybe you just played around with it for a minute. What is your favorite game that you have played this year?
Yes.
That's a good one. Well, all right. So that was question of the week. Now, before we hop into the news, this is kind of half news, half kind of an update on another thing that I just did today. I tweeted about it right before we started recording this, but last episode, me and you talked about a Yoko Taro game coming out that is like cards.
Oh yeah.
So that game, I think at that time we only got like a little trailer that was like it was all Japanese, and we didn't really have any information about it. But the demo came out today, and I played it. I finished it. It was about a 90-minute demo. Not like time limit wise. It just starting it and finishing it takes about anywhere between an hour and a half. So this game is called Voice of Cards: The Isle Dragon Roars. Roar. The full game is coming out on October 28th.
Okay.
But based on what I have played, I think I'm gonna get this game.
Really?
Yes.
Because like for me, honestly, I'm sure it's fun, but when I just saw the trailer of what the combat's gonna look like, or the gameplay, not combat necessarily, I was like, I was kind of let down a little bit. But you know what? Maybe it's actually really fun when you actually play it.
So I think I initially wait, did my camera just go out?
Yeah, it did.
What? Oh well, that's fine. Well, this will end up being a audio only one. Sorry, YouTube guys. Anyways, so I just saw my light blink out on my camera.
Oh,
interesting, because there's no power source or anything or battery. You just keep it plugged into the computer. Anyways, so the Isle Dragon Roars. This game, I think whenever I initially saw gameplay and like what this game was going to be like, I thought that it was going to be like a Hearthstone kind of like card game where you're essentially just like in the middle of doing, I don't know, like playing a specific card game that has its own rules and functions to it. But this game is just a turn-based RPG where everything is cards. Yeah. So it's very interesting. Like, and in the demo alone, the demo itself, I will say is, I don't know if what I experienced in the demo is going to be in the story, like the main story at all. But like, because the story of what happened in the demo was nothing spectacular. I would compare it literally directly to Dragon Quest 1 or Final Fantasy 1. Probably more so Final Fantasy 1, how it starts. Because you start on this little map, and then you go forward, and you talk to the queen, and she basically says, hey, somebody stole our medicine. And it gives you these dialogue options to ask, like, what did they look like? You know, did you see the thief? Or you can say, like, did you, what's so special about this medicine or whatever? And then she eventually just says, hey, so yeah, just go out and head to like the nearest town, and you should find some information over there about where you can find this medicine. So you go to the nearest town, and then you talk to everyone over there, and then you eventually get enough information where they basically say, hey, the medicine was taken by like a skeleton monster, and they went west. You'll find his hideout in this cave, and so then you're like walking around this map, and all of the map is cards.
Yeah.
It's very interesting though how it's laid out, because you kind of unlock the map as you're walking around. Like whenever you walk up to like an empty map, like a card or whatever, the other, like a couple of cards around you flip over and reveals more of the map, and then you just kind of unlock the map that way. So it's kind of satisfying. It makes you kind of want to unlock it makes you want to flip over every card,
Right.
But yeah, there's random encounters, and there's treasure chests and stuff. There were a few encounters actually where I was walking around, and then instead of a random battle, it was like you unlock, like an event happened or whatever, and basically what happened was there was a goblin that was poisoned, and I had an antidote on myself, and it was like, hey, do you want to give this antidote to the goblin? And so I just said, yeah, I'll just see what happens. And so then you cure the goblin of poison, and then it kind of walks away, and it's like looking back at you, and just kind of runs away from you, and you're like, that was kind of weird. And then you get into a few more random battles or whatever. You open up some treasure chests, and you eventually enter another event where a goblin comes up to you and just like throws a fish at you and runs away, and then you eat the fish and you recover 20 hit points, and then it's like, that was the goblin that you cured,
Hey,
so it's kind of like, I don't know, you'll unlock little events like that.
Right.
But as far as just kind of the gameplay loop goes, it's literally just a like a turn-based RPG. Where you play as like cards and stuff, and it's all narrated by a DM, like the game master, and so it feels like you're just a player playing like a Dungeons and Dragons game, but it's all like card based.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, as you were talking, I was looking at the demo on YouTube of it, and the more that I look at it, actually seems pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah, and you level up and
give
stuff,
this demo
and
a
you
shot.
unlock abilities. In the demo, you play as just a warrior and two different kinds of sorcerers, like a black mage and a white mage. The white mage starts off with like healing magic, but then whenever she levels up, she gets the light spell, which, on skeletons, they're like weak to light damage or whatever. And then whenever you're walking around in the field, you'll encounter like fluffy enemies or whatever, and then the black mages throw like fireballs at them and they fucking burn up and stuff.
Right.
So it's interesting. Like I said, I mean, it's very simplistic in its design.
Right.
I appreciate the aesthetics, because I just haven't seen an RPG look like this particularly, but it's there was also a whenever you walk into like a town, you can go over to like a game tavern or whatever, and that's where you play an actual card game, kind of like in the same way that you would do like Tetra Battle or something, or one of those card games in Final Fantasy. Yeah, it's interesting. And even in the demo, you unlock a multiplayer feature. So if somebody else has the demo, you could try the one kind of card game that's unlocked in this demo with a friend, up to like 4 people or something. But it's all really simple. I never died. I think I took 1 or 2 points of damage throughout my entire time playing this game. I assume whenever the full game comes out, there will be more of a challenge, but this demo was incredibly easy. This demo was, I think, really just showing you, here's how the game works, Like I don't know if this, because the characters that you play as in this demo are not the main characters in the game whenever it fully comes out, but apparently these characters will appear.
Okay, interesting.
So it's it was cool, and I think whenever the game comes out, it's only going to be like a $30 game.
Oh, okay.
And the story in this demo, like I said, I think it's going to I think the story in the main game is going to be completely different than this. But the music was really good. The main menu theme song was awesome. Like whenever you finish the demo, you hear the main menu music again, but now there's lyrics and it sounds just like Nier music.
Oh, nice.
Like the what are the girls' names? Devila and Popola.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like they got the same like voice actress who sang those songs.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like it's so beautiful. I definitely, whenever we're done, I definitely recommend looking up the theme song to this game because it's beautiful. Okay. But yeah, so I played that. I think it's I'm optimistic as far as kind of maybe checking out whatever Yoko Taro has in mind for whatever the story is, Whenever you look at the Steam page, there is DLC to it, but it's all like cosmetic stuff, and it'll be it's like you can have the dice be designed like so you have here's what the downloadable content is. It says Emil avatar, Emil's pattern, a grimoire vice board, a Liberty desk, and Emil dice, Devila's music, and pixel art set. So there's definitely like some Nier stuff going on.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's fun. Oh, I also just saw right now, as far as news goes, there is a Square Enix Tokyo Game Show sale happening right now on Steam. So, very cool. Yeah, for Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, it's only $10, so nice.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, that was that. Do you think this might be one that you'll check out somewhere down the line?
Yeah, I'll check out the demo somewhere down the line. Because, I mean, my first impression, I thought there was going to be more to it visually. So At first I was kind of off-put. But then when you talked about it and I was looking at the actual gameplay demo of it, I was like, oh, you know what? This actually is pretty interesting. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, man, give it a shot. It's also available on PlayStation 4, I think. Ooh, so, okay. Yeah. There you go. Well, all right. That was my demo impressions. I don't know. Have you played any demos or anything like that?
Nope.
Nice. Nice. This really was, I think, one of the first demos that I've played in a long time. Mm-hmm. But speaking of demos, and this is just some more new stuff, and we can talk a little bit about this. A new demo has come out for Final Fantasy Origin.
Hell yeah.
Stranger of Paradise. The demo, there's a brand new demo out, and basically what they did was they took all of the changes, or they incorporate some changes based on feedback from their first demo.
Yeah.
If y'all remember on the last episode, I said a couple of things that people basically said, hey, change this, and they incorporated a lot of that. And Square Enix even did a comparison video, really short. It's less than a minute long, but they compared the cutscenes from the first demo to how they have it now that they've updated it, and the game looks like it went from PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4, it still doesn't quite look like a PS5 game to me yet.
Yeah.
But it looks good.
Yeah, it does look good.
I'm excited to play this game. Did you watch the newest trailer?
I did. Yeah, they seems like they definitely decided let's not have them say chaos ever.
Yeah. Not a single chaos was in this one.
But I definitely, watching that trailer made me more interested in the game. But this was definitely a much better trailer.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure the clothes that the main character Jack is wearing, I'm pretty sure those are they completely changed his outfit. Like they did away with the Forever 21
shirt and jeans.
Style. Yeah. And they put him in a whole suit of armor. I don't know if that's maybe just an outfit that he has on, or if they did, but anyways, he's not wearing his shirt and jeans. So
good.
That's nice. But I will say though, I'm still, and I think this is just a Koei Tecmo thing. I do have an issue with, I guess it's the directing of these scenes that they're recording, like whenever the cutscenes are happening, because for a lot of it, and this is, I mostly see it in the main character, Jack. Because one, he's still, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he looks like, the rap god himself.
Yeah.
It looks like so out of place. He's got that like short blonde, he's got blonde hair, blue eyes, and it's like short, just very basic hairstyle. Not that I think that having the basic hairstyle is inherently a bad thing about his character design per se, but whenever you take his voice acting and the way that they direct the voice acting and like the facial animations, it feels, it definitely doesn't feel like a mainline Final Fantasy, at least it feels of that quality. I
agree.
I mean, it, like all of the gameplay and everything. I'm watching a gameplay thing as I'm talking about it, and the gameplay looks really fun.
I agree. It definitely
like we had
looks a lot of fun.
Yeah, we haven't played the demo yet. We're not in possessions of PS5s. But
I mean, they did say that's going to come to PS4.
Yeah.
I did not expect.
Yeah. And it's also coming to PC as well.
Yeah.
And it's also coming out March 18th. So that's actually really soon. My daughter, I don't know the gender of our upcoming baby, but they could very well be born on the day that this game comes out.
Hey.
Anyways, they also showed off a new character. What's her name?
Fourth warrior.
They said her name. Her name is Neon.
Okay.
Neon. Yeah. So now it's officially, they got the 4 Warriors of Light.
Hell yeah.
They got Jack, Ash, Jed, and Neon. So that's cool. I like that they got a girl in the mix.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. There were some other things in this trailer too. Like they showed off like the pirate.
Oh yeah. I like that.
And that's kind of one of the first towns that you go to in Final Fantasy 1 is that pirate town.
Yeah.
And you fight those pirate guys. So that kind of looked cool. They showed off the iconic boss Tiamat.
Definitely.
Yeah, from Final Fantasy 1.
Big old buff dragon.
Yeah. All those heads. What them heads do, though.
Ooh.
I will say also, I will continuously say this, that I absolutely hate the way that Square Enix goes about releasing trailers for their video games that fucking spoil everything about the game.
Yeah.
Right at the end of this trailer, and if you haven't watched this trailer yet, once the logo appears, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, just stop it right there. At least stop it right there, because right afterwards, and if you know about the story of Final Fantasy 1, we talked about this a little bit in our review, but there is a time travel twist at the end of Final Fantasy 1. And as we know about Final Fantasy Origin, our main protagonist's name is Jack, right?
Yes.
In the original Final Fantasy game, with the whole plot twist and everything, you realize that Garland, the first boss that you fight in Final Fantasy 1, he's been in this time loop where he basically becomes Chaos at the end of the game, and the 4 Warriors of Light, you kill Chaos, and right at the end of this trailer, we hear a female voice. It could be Princess Sarah, or who, it could be anyone, I guess, but they basically say like, I never got your name, or what's your name? What does she say? Okay,
she said like something like, what's your name, and then something like that.
Yeah. I never asked you your name. Sorry, I just had to listen to it. She said, I never asked you your name. And then he says, in the most terrible terrible voice acting that I've ever heard from a villain. He says, "My name is Garland, Jack Garland." And it's this big fucking, "That's how we end the trailer, boys." And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, they definitely dropped a big spoiler.
It's like, even, okay, so here's the other thing too, because you can't say that it's not a spoiler, because if, I don't know, if you think, oh well, maybe that's something that they like reveal like early on in the game or anything. After they released this trailer, they had an hour-long developer interview with everyone on the team of this game, and Tetsuya Nomura, Kingdom Hearts boy, that's my man, that's my boy. Tetsuya Nomura, he's the producer of this game, and he says, I've always wanted to tell that story about how Garland becomes Chaos or whatever. He essentially says like, I wanted to like share this story about how this main character would become Chaos, and for some reason they decided to put that in the trailer. And even like Tetsuya Nomura himself was like, I don't know why they decided to put that spoiler in the trailer. And I'm like, wow, that really is like an actual spoiler for this game.
Oh no!
And even the producer himself is like, why the fuck did they do that? And then another guy who was in that same panel was like, yeah, whenever the higher ups were telling me they were going to do that, I just smiled and said okay.
Like, I guess.
And they did this. They did the same thing with Kingdom Hearts 3. That's one of the other reasons why I was never I loved Kingdom Hearts 3 whenever I had played it, and after I was done with it, I had a lot of great feelings about the game. But as I thought about it more, I realized that I wasn't ever shocked. I wasn't ever surprised about anything about that game, and that's because I watched all the trailers for that game, and the trailers told you the whole story.
Yeah.
There wasn't a single fucking surprise in that game for me, because everything was everything was basically revealed in all those trailers. And the same thing too with Neo The World Ends With You. One of the trailers straight up spoils like a big character reveal later on in the game.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, man, like it's not just Square Enix that does this, but like, movies. I've seen so many movie trailers where it's like, well, now I don't have to watch the movie because I just watched that trailer,
Yeah.
And it just told me fucking everything about that. I'm not opposed to this idea, obviously, of Jack becoming Garland or whatever at the end of the game.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
Whenever that happens. I just hate that. I just hate that they told us that that's what happens in the trailer, That's not going to stop me from getting this game or anything.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. This game looks great.
The gameplay looks amazing. I wish I had the option to, play the demo. I'm surprised that it at least wasn't being released on PC along with like Xbox and PS5 and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's coming out really soon. It's coming out in like, let's see, 5 months? It's coming out in 5 months.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Dang. Crazy.
So, man, I just feel like we talked about this game not all that long ago.
No.
As a rumor,
I will say though, like, because I did watch the Square Enix Tokyo Game Show, like after after it was uploaded and stuff like that. And I saw the beginning, like, really excited. Oh, maybe they'll have some Final Fantasy 16 news, and immediately start with like, nothing for Final Fantasy 16. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, well, at least they told us. And
granted, they did warn us, and I'm still, you know what? The more I don't see things about it, honestly, the more happier I am.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Just because
at least they're not doing something like with Origins of just spoiling a big thing about the game.
That or just fucking any other game where it's like you'll just constantly see trailers for it, and it either just continues to get delayed and like expectations just get higher and higher. Whereas we've only seen one look at this game. Yeah, we got like a website a really long time ago that explains kind of the setting and a few of our main characters and stuff.
Yeah,
and the producer of the game, what is it, Naoki Yoshida? He straight up is like, yeah, I mean, the next time y'all see a trailer, it'll be just about ready to come out.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm really pumped about that because that just means the next time we see Final Fantasy 16, we will 100% be getting like at least a release date, you know?
Yeah.
Even if it's like 2023 or something, which at this point I'm like, it has to be. I really feel like it's going to be a late 2022 release date at least.
Definitely. I agree with that.
But I just, at the same time, I'm like, fuck, do I even want to watch the Final Fantasy 16 trailer? Because now it's, you know, now that this has happened and this has happened so many times with Square Enix, I'm like, fuck, like, what do I do? You know,
just like the final cutscene of the game.
Yeah, I want to be just as hyped as everyone else. I want to talk about it with everyone. You know, I want to talk about what we saw in the trailer on the podcast and stuff. But I don't want to have this negative feeling of like, why did they show us this? I did not want to see that in the trailer before I play the game. You know?
Right. Yeah, that's got a little dicey.
So, yeah. Anyways. That was the, you know, some Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise stuff. It's coming out March 18th, 2022. 5 more months.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my expectations for it. You know, I'm not sure what I'm I think I'm most excited just to play this game, you know?
I agree, yeah.
I think everything that we've seen of the story and all of that, it's exciting to kind of see this alternate take on Final Fantasy 1. But ultimately, I feel like the bread and butter of this game will be its combat system.
I agree.
So, yeah, I'm excited for that. Another thing, too, we got some recent news over the last couple of days. Monster Hunter Rise is coming out on PC on January 12th.
Nice.
That'll be cool because I know a lot of people were even saying, hey, even on the Nintendo Switch, with them using this new Resident Evil engine to make Monster Hunter games, it looks beautiful on the Nintendo Switch, almost just as good as like Monster Hunter World, you know?
Oh wow, okay.
And now that this game will be coming out on PC and there's no like resolution lock on it, and there's probably going to be a lot of like graphic settings, it's probably going to be the best looking Monster Hunter game when it comes out on PC.
Nice.
So that's tight. You still haven't gotten a chance to play that one, right?
Rise? No.
Yeah, I still, I mentioned this on an earlier podcast. A friend of the show, shout out to my buddy Chelsea. I told her that it wasn't like she was like, "Hey, what game do you want? I'll get it for you." We were just talking about it, and I was like, "Ah, man, yeah, I really want to check out Monster Hunter Rise." And she straight up just without
Wait, didn't she buy you World?
No, Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh, Rise. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I really want to check out Monster Hunter Rise. And then she just straight up she sent me $60 of Nintendo money just to buy Monster Hunter Rise.
Hell yeah.
So, you know, I wasn't going to spend that on anything else. She gave me that money for Monster Hunter Rise, so I got Monster Hunter Rise. And I played it for, you know, like 5 or 6 hours or so. And I enjoyed the time I had with it. But I think now that I've had this time with it, I think Monster Hunter just might not be entirely for me.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah. Maybe that can be another one of my choices for... Wait, I didn't say my answer for question of the week.
Nope.
Yeah. Wait, did you say yours too or no?
Nope.
Oh, man. Okay, let's pause on the news. A game series that I have not gotten into, and I just have been unable to, you know, get myself into this game series. And this is surprising to me because I love stealth games. But I cannot get into Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is just one of those games, man. I've tried the first one a couple of times. I've played a little bit of like Black Flag, and I know a lot of people love Black Flag. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, man. I cannot play any of them.
Wow, interesting. Okay, makes sense.
And then I guess also Monster Hunter, since I just said that.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I guess what some people were saying earlier, like stereotypical just battle royale games. I'm not super into those, or like shooter games. Not really super into those. I get the appeal, but they're just not really for me. Sports games, of course, that aren't like Mario.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, sports games are hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Hard to
like
get
honestly,
into.
I'd rather actually just play the sport badly than play a video game of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just those. There's not really any specific series. I'm just like, not really.
Sure. Gotcha. Well, all right. back to the news.
Back to news.
Scarlet Nexus is out now on Game Pass.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, really?
So we had talked about that for a little while. I was playing it for a little bit. I got the PC version of that, and I think it's really fun. It's just another one of those games where I was trying to like just play a bunch of games on my own, and this was right before we had done our whole backlog conversation, and I was feeling guilty that I wasn't playing this game, that I knew that I should be playing it because I bought the game, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So, anyways, I think if you have not purchased this game yet and you are a subscriber to Xbox Game Pass, this is definitely a solid choice, a solid pick.
Go get it.
We also got a closer look at the. I don't know if have you heard of Iuden Chronicles?
No.
So this is like the spiritual successor to Suikoden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think they got this some of the people on the same team of the original Suikoden games, making a game called Iuden Chronicles 100 Heroes. And I don't think we had a release date for that one. But then recently we also got a trailer for a game called Iuden Chronicles Rising, which is like a tie-in game that takes place before 100 Heroes. And I think 100 Heroes is supposed to be that like Suikoden style type game. But Rising, Iuden Chronicles Rising, this one is coming out spring 2022, and it's like a side-scroller, platformer RPG.
Interesting. Okay.
What's that one game? Indivisible. It reminds me a lot of Indivisible.
Oh, okay.
1 second. Yeah. So, anyways, looks kind of cool. I've only played and finished the first Suikoden game, but I really enjoyed it. So, that's one that I'm looking forward to.
Hell yeah.
We also got a release date for. It's no longer Project Triangle Strategy. It's just called Triangle Strategy.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, this is, the, what's it called? That Final Fantasy Tactics style game. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting combat, but just kind of dumb name.
Definitely a dumb name. I don't know why the people who are making these HD 2D games just are bad at naming their games. Octopath Traveler, Triangle Strategy. Anyways. Be on the lookout for that one. We also got a new announcement of a game that kind of looks like what's that game that old people play in their magazines where you do like is it a crossword?
Yeah, crossword
puzzle?
Yeah.
There's like a new RPG coming out from Square Enix called Dungeon Encounters. And the director is the director of Final Fantasy 9 and 12.
Oh, okay.
He's the director of this game, but he worked on Final Fantasy 9 and 12.
Oh, okay.
And the producer worked on Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age. And the character designer did Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and 12 Revenant Wings and Heroes of Mana. And the music is composed by Nobuo Uematsu. So this game, it's interesting. All of the drawings are really cool. I really like all of the artwork for this game. But it's kind of that same thing that I was telling you about with this new Yoko Taro card game, where your battlefield just kind of is like on a table,
Yeah.
Which can be kind of cool. So I might check this one out as well, but I don't know, for some reason, like, it doesn't quite catch my eye in the same way that the other one had.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, the trailer, and
yeah, just kind of the gameplay itself. I mean, it kind of just looks like an indie game,
Right, yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm sure, I hope it's fun. I hope this is a good game because the names behind it give me hope,
Definitely.
But, yeah, we'll just have to see. And then, lastly on the news portion, we got a, a Dragon Quest X offline release date.
Oh shit! Okay.
Japan only. Yeah. It's coming out February 26th, 2022, for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam. Cool. Yeah, only in Japan.
Yay. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
It's probably a shitty game anyway.
Yeah, stupid game. Who cares? I hate this game.
Hey, it's so bad.
Who the fuck even wants this game, bro?
Not me.
I don't want this game. Who wants this?
Who wants this, Square? I know you listen.
Okay, that was the news portion of the game, and we'll kind of go through this next thing pretty fast, just because I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on some of this stuff. But we just had a Nintendo Direct.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes, we fucking did.
Yeah, it happened on a day that I normally get off of work pretty early. But for some reason, I was held up pretty late that day, and I was unable to get home in time. But I wanted to do a Twitch stream, like I just read the word announcement, but I wanted to do a Twitch stream, sort of like reaction / discussion.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find like a cohesive list of everything that was. I mean, like, I'm looking at a few websites where they have everything that was shown, but it's all like scattered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and start with the new Kirby game.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah? You into it?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I tried getting into Kirby a lot whenever I was younger, and I've played and beaten a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Kirby's Epic Yarn. I liked, that like Superstar collection on Super Nintendo and all that. Yeah. And I played the Nightmare in Dreamland on, I believe that was Game Boy or Nintendo DS. One of those. Anyways, yeah, what's your history with Kirby? How do you feel about
shit.
Getting this game?
I have never played a single Kirby game, but I really, really want to. I like the appeal of Kirby and just how the gameplay looks and all that stuff. It seems like a very just, chill vibe, nothing too hard, just very, wholesome gameplay. And this game seems like will be my first real Kirby game that I purchase because it looks a lot of fun.
There you go. Yeah.
Just Kirby Odyssey.
Post-apocalyptic 3D world. Yeah, man, I'm super into it. This is probably going to be the first Kirby game that I buy in a long time as well. I think it might be actually the first Kirby game that I ever buy. I think the other times that I've played Kirby, it's either been just like, oh, it's available on the Nintendo eShop for free if I have a subscription thing, or like somebody let me borrow their game or something.
Right.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I feel the same sort of enjoyment when I saw this trailer that I felt whenever I was seeing a lot of gameplay for Super Mario Odyssey whenever that was coming out. It's probably going to be a totally different feel. It's two totally different gameplay loops or whatever, but
right.
Yeah. Okay, so next thing too, we got Nintendo Switch Online, including Nintendo 64 games.
Hell yeah.
And I think, what is it, Sega Saturn games, I believe?
Yes. Yeah, I believe Sega Saturn, yeah.
That's so I think this is going to be... sorry. I saw the price for the controllers. The controllers for these are going to be $50 each, which is kind of cool. I actually might get like a Nintendo 64 controller.
Tight.
But I do think the what's it called? I think the upgrade itself is going to cost an extra amount of money,
Okay.
which is unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Yes.
I wish it didn't, and I don't think Nintendo has to do this. You know, this is one of those things about Nintendo with their pricing stuff that I really just feel like, Nintendo, these Nintendo 64 games have been around forever. What you're doing is literally emulation here.
Yeah.
Like, if I wanted to emulate your games, I can do it for totally free.
Right.
But, not everyone has that option to. And a lot of people want to experience, classic games like Banjo-Kazooie, the original Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64, Star Fox 64, even those like Genesis games like Sonic 2, Echo the Dolphin, Golden Axe, games like that. A lot of people want to experience those games again. It's just good comfort food.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also got a Bayonetta 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, I did not expect that.
Oh, yeah. And even the trailer itself, I was not expecting the trailer to end up being Bayonetta,
Mm-hmm.
They had our expectations in a totally different area.
Yeah, they got us. They got us good.
Yeah. But have you beaten any of the Bayonetta games yet?
I've beaten both of them, 1 and 2, yes. It's been a very long time between each one, because I beat Bayonetta, the very first one, like, I want to say like early high school, and then the second Bayonetta game I beat like last year.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love the Bayonetta series. I'm excited for this one.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited for it too, although I do need to get caught up just because I've not beaten any of them. But I do have them both on Nintendo Switch.
They're very short, and Bayonetta 2 is even shorter than the first one. I was surprised that it beat so quickly.
Are they
it's
really?
Like less than... Yeah, it's like...
Let's see.
Actually, I think I can check my Switch right now.
I'm looking at the... let's see. Yeah, Bayonetta... Oh, yeah, Bayonetta on How Long to Beat. Average main story completion is about 11 and a half hours. So, yeah, that is pretty short. And then Bayonetta 2 is 9 hours.
Let's see, going through my Switch list of the games that I played and how many hours. Bayonetta, where are you? Yeah, Bayonetta 2 played for 10 hours or more.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't know if you heard it or if you had your headphones off, but yeah, on How Long to Beat, it says average is 9 hours, and then Bayonetta 1 is average 11 hours, 11 and a half hours.
Yeah, they're very short games.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm looking forwad to it. I hope this game is longer. I mean, it doesn't have to be longer. It just has to be good,
I agree.
We got Splatoon 3 stuff. Like I said earlier, I'm just not big into the Splatoon stuff.
Yeah, same.
Monster Hunter Rise is getting another expansion.
Tight.
It's called Sunbreak, so if you're into Monster Hunter Rise, there you go. We also got Mario Kart Final Fantasy Edition.
Oh, yeah.
Chocobo GP. Baby.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually, I think it looks cheap, graphically speaking. But I don't know, maybe whenever it's like discounted or something, or there's a sale going on for it, I think it's something that I do want to check out.
Tight.
Yeah, because I was looking at some of that gameplay, and you could play as like Steiner and stuff.
Oh, tight.
You can race as Steiner and Garnet and Vivi.
Ooh.
So, anyways, that's kind of cool. We got some other stuff too, like we got the Castlevania Advance Collection.
Mm-hmm.
We got ActRaiser getting a remake as well. That's pretty cool. We got an announcement for Animal Crossing.
Lovely.
And we got a bunch of other stuff too. I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to mention before I mention the Mario movie.
Well, I mean, didn't you want to talk about Metroid coming out on the 8th?
Oh, Metroid. Yes, that's true. Yeah. So Metroid is coming out really soon. It's coming out in 4 days.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know if I'm going to be there for the launch day get.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm incredibly intrigued with this game. Another piece of me though is like I never finished Metroid Fusion, and I know it takes place after that.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Like Super Metroid and stuff like that. Yeah. So this is a game that I'm incredibly excited for, but one of the things that it's required of me to do is just go back and finish the games in the Metroid series that I have not beaten. And I've beaten a handful of them, not all of them. And I'm a sucker for, just if it's got a like a complex story or anything like that, I gotta be there for it. I gotta know everything that's going on.
Right.
But yeah, Metroid Dread is coming out. Definitely looking forward to seeing how people like that one. And was that it as far as the games go? That's all this list is showing me.
There's one more thing. Let me check something real quick. So oh yeah, they did have another Pokemon Legends trailer almost a week ago. I don't know if you saw that. It was just showing. Yeah, it was showing just more of the gameplay. And yeah, the game looks fucking great. This is generally a breath of fresh air for the Pokemon genre.
No, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah,
that one's gonna be good. I'm excited for that. It looks I think we had mentioned this before, but it looks like what I was hoping like Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield, yeah. So yeah, a lot of Pokemon fans were hoping Sword and Shield would be more of this. Yeah, that's fine. At least we finally got it.
Yeah. Some other things too that I'm just seeing from IGN. We got Arcade Archives like Pac-Man and Xevious. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but those will be playable on Nintendo Switch. We also got Rune Factory 5 coming to Nintendo Switch. We got the Shadowrun trilogy, which is a classic RPG series that it's very cyberpunk. We got Disney Magical World 2 Enchanted Edition.
Ooh.
It's just like a kid Disney game.
Right.
We also got a new trailer for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Oh, yeah.
That's getting a new expansion as well. Have not played that, but I need to because I want to play all the Hyrule Warriors stuff before Breath of the Wild 2 comes out,
Yeah.
Disco Elysium, the final cut, is coming out on Switch on October 12th. I think we talked about this last time. Did we talk about Deltarune?
I think we did.
Yeah, so Deltarune 2 is available on Switch. Chapter 2, Deltarune Chapter 2 is available on Switch now. I believe that's totally free as well. So if you're a fan of Undertale, check out that. Mario Golf is getting some new characters and stuff.
Lovely.
Dying Light 2 and Dying Light 1 are coming to Nintendo Switch. Oh yeah, and it's kind of funny too that we for the PlayStation Direct or Showcase or whatever, they showed off, we're getting a Knights of the Old Republic remake that is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. But then also Nintendo Switch is getting just the original Knights of the Old Republic on it. Just this November 11th. Knights of the Old Republic, just the base or the original game is coming out on Nintendo Switch. So I know you said you hadn't played that one, so if that one's probably going to be a budget title, probably less than $20, I imagine.
Okay.
So might be cool to check out. Mario Party stuff was announced. We got another announcement that we're going to get the final Super Smash Brothers DLC fighter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's coming out this October, early October. So
I think it's tomorrow as of this recording.
Is it tomorrow? Whoa!
I think so.
Well, let's embarrass ourselves right now by saying who it's going to be.
Goku.
Who do you think? Goku? I'm saying Sora.
Oh, okay. Those are two solid ones of a lot of people saying that, just Sora or Goku.
Yeah. I just know that hashtag Sora for Smash has been a thing for such a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
And like we just never got it.
Yeah, honestly, like regardless of who it is, a lot of people are going to be pissed. I think,
of course,
as long as it's not another Fire Emblem anime character, I think that'll be the least amount of like people being pissed.
If they end it off with another, I don't even care if it's like a sword fighter or anything, just any other fucking Fire Emblem character. Do not do
piss
it.
Off so many people. It's gonna
don't
piss
do it.
So many people off.
Okay. Mario movie.
Actually, I have one more thing. It's not nearly as interesting as the Mario movie, but there's one more game that I'm excited for that I'm sure most people aren't that are into this thing, is that there is they announced this at the very beginning. Well, I mean, they announced this way before, like back at Gamescom, but they had another trailer for it at Tokyo Game Show the very first day, was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. There's a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Game coming out. It's free to play. And like Master Duel is supposed to be more catered towards like people who play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like more meta type of players and stuff like that.
Right.
Because a lot of story modes in Yu-Gi-Oh! It follows like the anime and story and stuff like that. But in this one, what it does, and also it's free, it's going to be free to play across like every single platform, PS5, PS4, Xbox, even on your phone, stuff like that. What they're doing instead with the story for this one is that you follow the story of the lore of the cards. Because, like, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards have their own, like, lore based on the different archetypes and stuff like that. So the story mode is you follow the different lores of the different card types, which is pretty cool that they're doing that instead of following the anime. Nice. So, yeah, that's about it about that one. Just wanted to put that out there for all my Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans, for anyone out there.
All of our Yu-Gi-Oh! Heads.
Yes.
Well, cool. Right on.
All right, Mario movie.
On. Yeah, Mario movie. We didn't get any details about this movie other than the fact that it will be 3D animated.
Yes.
It's from the same studio who brought you Despicable Me. I think that's what they said.
Yes.
And I'm assuming Minions as well. Gotta love those Minions.
Yes.
And they showed off the cast. They announced the voice actors. Let's just see.
Yes.
Mario movie cast. Yeah. Okay. So, right off the bat, Shigeru Miyamoto even said, "He's so cool." Whenever he says
such a cool guy.
Yeah, Chris Pratt is going to be Mario. And this definitely took the internet by storm, bro.
Oh, definitely.
People were sad. People were mad. People were glad.
Yes.
People were...
all the emotions.
Just raffle-coptering, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So here's my thing about it. Some people are mad about just the fact that it's Chris Pratt, and for some reason Chris Pratt is just widely hated for some reason. I'm not a part of the people who just hates him for him just being him or whatever, but I do think that this is a very I don't like whenever I'm thinking about, okay, 3D Mario, you know, I'm thinking about his voice and all that. And then I think, you know, Star-Lord. And then I think like Jurassic World and all that.
Right.
Is he gonna do a voice? Is he going to just talk normally, but it'll be coming out of Mario's face, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm just I really don't have any huge thoughts on this other than I have no idea what it's gonna sound like, you know?
Right.
I think I saw a thing where he had said like, I've been practicing the voice for a long time. But to me, okay. I feel like he might just be trolling, and it might just be his regular ass voice, and he might just talk normally, you know?
Right.
But I don't know. How do you feel about Chris Pratt Mario?
I mean, as I'm pretty sure most people, they're just confused.
Yeah.
Just didn't expect that at all. But the more I think about it, the more I was like, you know what? The more I think about these people who are voicing who they are, I was like, sure it'll be fine. I mean, yeah, It's a little weird, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are also just thinking like, oh, they're definitely just they're just throwing their money at some of the most like top tier actors in Hollywood right now, you know?
Yeah.
And they're just like, doesn't matter necessarily. Like, people are assuming like, oh, they don't really care about the integrity of what these characters' voices should really sound like. They're just picking like famous people just because they're famous and they're popular in Hollywood right now. I don't really think that that's the case, because some of these I think do make sense. Whenever I look at this cast, it's very clear to me that this is going to be a comedy movie, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I thought Ben Schwartz, the comedian, he voices Sonic the Hedgehog in the live action Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I thought that was going to be a terrible choice. I just, whenever I think of Sonic in my head, and like, oh, what would his English voice actor be? I don't really know who it would be, like who my pick would be, but it definitely wasn't him, you know?
Right.
But that turned out to be totally fine. And I think a lot of people just kind of have this image of Chris Pratt in their head, and they're like, that's like, is he just going to be doing a racist Italian voice? Like, you know, what's he going to do? But then you see someone like Charlie Day as Luigi, right? And if you've ever watched like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I just imagine like Luigi's just going to be a crackhead in this movie. Yeah. You know? Like he's just going to be like high energy this whole time. And I think that could be really funny. I think it might fit for him.
It could work, yeah.
Anna Taylor-Joy, I haven't watched like Queen's Gambit or the newest X-Men movie, New Mutants, but I hear she's a great actress as well, and I don't really have any opinion of her voice, but
same.
I think Princess Peach kind of has that stereotypical like damsel princess voice anyways, so I don't think that's like a hard thing for anyone to really replicate.
Yeah.
Then we also got Jack Black as Bowser.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are saying that this makes a whole lot of sense. Compared to everything else, I don't see how it makes more sense than anything else. I think Jack Black's kind of a bigger guy and can maybe like growl and get those guttural tones, but I feel like so can almost anyone else, you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't take a whole lot of work to voice, you know, the voice of Bowser, but this is just to me, I mean, it just kind of confirms what I was saying I of the fact that this is going to just be a completely different kind of take.
No, definitely.
Like I think I might actually be even more surprised if any of them sound like how they would in the game, you know? I think they're probably all just going to do some wacky voice or either their own voice. But we got Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong as well.
Just imagining the laughs. It's gonna be great.
We got Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. I'm really excited to hear that.
Same. I'm excited too. I did not expect that, but I love it.
Yeah. We got Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong as well, so that's probably going to be pretty funny as well. We got Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, and we got Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike. I'm not familiar with Sebastian Maniscalco, if that's I think that's how you pronounce it. But anyways, those are the 9 actors that they had announced.
Good.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's got to be better than the original one, right?
Yeah, it's got to be better.
So
bar's not too high.
The bar is not incredibly high for Super Mario Brothers movies, you know.
Yeah.
And you know they were able to pull out Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, and people seem to enjoy that movie. And they got Ryan Reynolds to voice Pikachu. You know, I think people were excited about that because they like Ryan Reynolds in general.
Yeah.
But realistically, you know, if you try to think like, oh, who would voice these Pokemon or whatever, I think Ryan Reynolds is the last person that people would expect Pikachu sounds like, you know?
Right.
Anyways, that's pretty much going to do it for this one. I know that last portion, we just kind of talked about the Nintendo Direct and the Mario movie and all that, but it's relevant stuff. I know it's not all RPG related, but wanted to just kind of discuss some of the popular news that's going on.
It's a big
right
thing,
now.
yeah.
But yeah, DJ, that's pretty much gonna do it for us. Are you? Do you got anything that you feel like plugging?
Sure. I didn't mention this in the last podcast episode, but speaking of podcasts, I have my own podcast called the Ramen Stand Podcast.
Hell yeah.
We are an anime podcast where we talk about, you guessed it, anime and just us being weebs and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one.
When's the hentai episode coming out?
When we hit 100 subs.
Is that something y'all have discussed?
Yep, 100%.
Oh my god, yes.
If the Ramen Stand when the Ramen Stand hits 100 subs, we will talk about hentai.
Oh fuck yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Everyone go subscribe to the Ramen Stand or follow on, Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anything like that.
Yeah.
You guys are the one who are going to make this hentai podcast happen. So
yeah, you can make me, Kai, and Cole talk about hentai for an hour.
There you go. Well, all right, everyone. I guess for me as well, I feel like we should have. I'm still trying to, feel out like, should we be doing this like at the very beginning of each episode or do it right at the very end? But
probably like a mix.
I feel like just because if we do it at the beginning of the episode, we have more of a chance of people hearing it,
Right.
Just because it's right there at the beginning. But anyways, you can find me. You can follow me on Twitter at OverleveledCast. Those things should be all over the screen, But the other thing too, Twitch. I mentioned that earlier. That's twitch.tv/gavdod, and I even made a VOD channel on YouTube.
Oh.
That is
can watch the whole thing unedited.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna basically, because Twitch deletes those VODs after 2 weeks, I've been downloading them to my computer and I've started uploading them to YouTube. That is, the YouTube channel name is GavDodVod. So pretty
rolls off the tongue.
Pretty clever, I think. So
that's good.
Thank you again to everyone who joined the Discord discussion, answering the question of the week. Definitely appreciate all you guys. Be sure to answer that question of the week. If there's anything that we mentioned during this episode that you have your own personal thoughts on, how do you feel about who's gonna voice Dixie Kong?
There we go.
Tell us who's voicing Dixie Kong.
Who's voicing him? Let us know.
Who's voicing him? Dixie Kong. Yes, him. Dixie Kong.
Him. The man.
The man Dixie Kong. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. We got the Discord as well, just talking about that. That's going to be in all of the descriptions, wherever you're listening to. And the optional Patreon stuff. Still trying to figure out, sort of what tiers I can kind of provide for you guys to show my appreciation towards you guys for doing that. Shout out as well to my buddy Zachary Morris, who is a $15 Patreon supporter. Appreciate that guy. So I know one of the things that I had mentioned is y'all are going to get shout outs in these podcasts, and he's been the longest Patreon supporter so far. So finally shouting that boy out.
You finally getting it.
Yeah, you're finally getting your money's worth. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one. DJ.
Yeah.
Hit him with it.
All right. When you don't brush your teeth, you smell like feet.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right.